should thank you for exposing the disloyal amongst my kin. But then, I have so much to thank you for. Pride? Their betrayal was inevitable. But soon you faced the House of Vengeance, and their loyalty to Tiernok is absolute. Pure. Instinct. The goddess of mercy awakens. And with every step you take into my homeland, she comes that much closer to walking our world and purging your kind. So, welcome to Alabastra. It shall be the death of you once more.
We have seen our champion bested, our advantage lost, and our minds are cleared. Bravo to you, champion. House of Pride, in our ineffable wisdom, renounces the Tuatha and demands that you accept our immediate surrender. Your army is welcome here. We trust our benevolence will be well remembered should Gadflow be dethroned. We thank you kindly, and our mages have already been assisting your army in their march into Alabastra. We trust you do not object. Most excellently spoken. You have the commanding presence of a young Aegon, who once also bore the pleasure of our august company. Allow us to welcome you to Alabastra. We trust your visit will be eventful. Prince Sidon is a Fae of noble tradition. He would never raise a hand against the High King, just as he would never bow before the Tuatha. We've been gifted with so much. It's only proper that we are also immortal, so as to put our gifts to the most use. Conversely, poor children of dust have so little, but are given barely a moment to live. How kind the world is. How Gadflow came to command such respect is beyond even our wisest. He was little more than a jester at the Winter Court. But he said he found the voice of Tiernok, and she led him to power. And it seems he was correct. As the Fae are above mortals, the House of Pride reigns above their fellow Fae, sharing our wisdom, our grace, and our humility. Myself? Why, this one is merely the lowest ranked of our house, and yet we have been chosen as the speaker for the Fae of Pride. To us falls the honor of acting as liaison to your mortal army. Your charming, well-bred, and simply lovely army. The Tuatha bred in our lands before we realized what change they truly represented. Certainly we all share a distaste for mortals, but few of us ever hunted them. Vengeance is such a sloppy, boorish house. Marvelous fighters, of course, but simply crude. They all feel that the world has wronged them somehow. And perhaps it did. How else would they end up in such a hateful house?
The House of Pride opened its gates and welcomed us as honorary champions. They say it's simple hospitality, but I suspect we have you to thank. Now is the difficult part. We can hold Cluracan, even push a little into Alabastra, but we don't have the forces to mount a siege on Gadflow. Once the House of Pride gives their word, they'll never break it. At least, not while it looks like we're winning. Our real problem is that we can't march the army through Alabastra. Not in formation, at least. This will call for smaller groups. Alabastra is a maze of valleys. Gadflow's remaining faithful would spot an army moving together, and the valleys would be the death of us. But where an army would fail, the 5 of us can triumph. If we split up, we can travel faster and catch them unaware. We will at the House of Vengeance, on Gadflow's doorstep. From there, we strike at Bale, the heart of his empire. More than you'd think. But I promise I'll explain it all to you. Maybe once Gadflow's dead. I'm sure you know more about it than I do. After all, you were here last. That's where we'll find Gadflow, and where we'll put an end to this whole war. I hope you're ready. This time. Ventrinio says he has a way to defeat Dren. However he got into Alabastra before, we'll have to use it to put an end to Dren's defenses once and for all. Now that you've driven off the Tuatha, those House of Pride fools don't even want to acknowledge they ever served Gadflow. Disgusting little turncoats. But useful ones to have on our side, as long as we keep an eye on them. The Fae of House Vengeance has always embraced their anger. Before Gadflow, they accepted it and controlled it. Now they wield it like a pair of swords. When mortals were welcomed into the Feylands, Vengeance already despised us as interlopers. When Gadflow declared war, they were already on his side. See you in Alabastra.
Hope you've got better luck this time, lady.
I need to talk with you, but not here. I'll find you in Alabastra. I've put together a few facts about your death, and I think I know something grave. But not here. I don't want to cause a panic. When you and I came to Alabastra, we were looking for the source of the Prismere's power. I never found it, but I think you did, and that's why you died. The frosted gem at the center of Alabastra, full of Prismere. But now it's a lot more full of enemies than it was when we snuck in there. Gone, gutted, and good riddance to them. That'll teach them to stand on the wrong side of a war. You did kill them all, right? I'll give them the slip and talk with you a little later.
Welcome to Alabastra, hero. I'm no proper nature guy.
Praise Lyria! I thought you'd never arrive. Welcome to Camp Moondown. Are you with Captain Ancilla's company? We need soldiers, not heroes. Without help, we won't last long on this ridge. Still, any help is something. Will you lend a hand? Thank you. Without you, we could not... No! That's a Tuatha now! Come! Goodbye.
Hello, mortal. I am the Knave of Pride. Wait a moment. The hero of Melson Shear. Here to offer your services. You have impeccable timing. I have some Bulgans that need to be disposed of. They're everywhere. Big red faces. The stuff of nightmares. The Bulgan masters use them as foot soldiers when they can. They compelled the Bulgan to fight. If you're in the mood, locate these Bulgan masters. Shouldn't be too difficult for the hero of Melson Shear. Well, get to work then, hero. And come see me once you've thwarted the threat. Goodbye.
That should give you a taste of what we've been up against. Tuatha see this camp as sacrilege. Thank you for your help. The tales of your courage are true. That I don't know. Fate has thrown so much hardship our way. Tuatha took our healer. The weaponsmith ran off. The mercenaries deserted us when the gold ran out. They're camped on the land bridge to the south, but they're not going anywhere while the Tuatha hold Shadow Pass. If you rescue Colm, our injured could fight again, and we might stand a chance. Raiders seized him 2 nights ago. It was dark, but I'm certain I saw them head to Glass Pillar Caves. Goodbye.
Hey, you're the hero of Melson Shear. I've heard all about you. Private Eyeless Ilva at your service. Don't have much for supplies, but you're welcome to them. in need of healing. Keep your eyes. We've lost a lot of blood.
go. Get out of here. It's a trap. Gods, the hero of Melsenshir. I'm so sorry to have led you into that trap. I had no choice. They threatened to torture me. Forgive me. I've been wounded. Don't have the strength to care for myself. If I'm going to get back to camp, I'll need a powerful healing potion. Do you happen to have one on you? That feels better. It will be a while before the full effects take hold, but the potion did its work. If you escort me to the exit, I'll meet you back at Camp Moondown. Move fast. I'm proof of what happens to those traveling alone. Goodbye. Good thing I had you as an... Thanks again. I'll meet you at Camp Moondown. Goodbye. Thanks for all your help. Goodbye.
Do not expect mercy.
Great news! A healer will patch our wounds, but we'll need our weaponsmith too. I don't suppose you'd agree to help us again. Anella is a curious sort, impetuous, full of wild ideas, better suited to the Scholia Arcana than the army. She talked a lot about the Whispering Caves, so that's a good place to start. Goodbye.
Been fighting for days, but I need the gold. Hey! Been fighting for days, but I need the gold. They're a Bolgan about. Like to Uther. Weren't bad enough. Hey!
Agarth wanted me to keep an eye on Lady Shear, but you and I need to have a talk first. I've been reviewing my notes of our last trip to Alabastra, and I've come to some startling conclusions about your death and Tirnoch. I don't know exactly, but it must have been a tremendously powerful source of magic. So powerful that the Well of Souls couldn't help but pick up on it. You were attuned to the well in my lab, but Hugh's well captured your essence. The power in Bale seems to have been the missing element. What's more, I think that power is the source of the Prismere crystals. Something intelligent and malignant. The creature the Tuatha called Tirnoch. Something incredibly powerful. I don't know if we even have a name for what she is, because no one's lived to name it. She's not a god. She's something much, much worse. And judging by the growth of this Prismere, she's very close to coming into our world for good. Whatever Gadflow's been doing, it's all in order to bring her here. So you've got to stop him before it's too late. With tremendous difficulty. Even so, there weren't as many Tuatha here, and we used magic to keep us hidden. Magic which you provided, in fact. You never did explain where you got those fascinating little artifacts. Tirnoch isn't a god. No god has ever commanded that much magic directly. Whatever she is, she must be amazingly powerful. I can see why Gadflow would worship her. Imagine controlling that much raw magic.
Ventrinio insists on coming with me. Just as well. Someone should keep an eye on him. No telling where his true loyalties lie, or what he might do. I was going to sneak there by myself, but Ventrinio insists on following me. Don't worry, I'll make sure he's safe. Very noble, but we need to stay separate in order to avoid drawing too much attention. The gnome is more than enough for me to deal with. I'll see you soon enough. Don't worry. I'll see you in Alabastra.
By Lyria, it was you who stood against Baelor when Telera fell. Fortune favors me today. I am commander of the Ariad. Do you bring word of my reinforcements? The ash covering the ground ahead is all that remains of my men. All fallen in our assault on that pass. The Tuatha have built a gauntlet of spell-casting sentries who greeted our every advance with fire. It's just, these Tuatha wage war like none I've known. Magical fires burning my men to a cinder with a word. But if you're brave enough to challenge them, we may have a chance. They're using the terrain against us, flanking the paths from above with sorcerers. If you can neutralize these sentries, I will charge the approach myself. Together we might be able to break their lines. Until later then. Has begun, but we must press on lest the Tuatha secure the hut. There are more sentries ahead. Each must be killed before we... Until later then.
There you... Got myself a little tied up here. And is it a trick of the eye, or are these crystals growing? Just got myself tied up in some trouble with the locals. Nothing I can't handle. Honestly, I haven't had this much fun in decades. Not on your life. This old man can still take care of himself, you know? But I will take just a moment to catch my breath. Stupid old lungs. You should have seen Alabastra at its prime. Serene and beautiful as a sky full of stars. Vale was the seat of the Winter Court. Every bit as cold as Issa is warm. But they're both beautiful in their own ways. Doesn't look like there was much of the House of Pride left to save. And I can't imagine they were happy about a mortal doing the saving, either. The Fae in the House of Vengeance are, bar none, the fiercest, strongest, most downright unstoppable creatures in the land. Not that they have a lot to be vengeful about. After all, Godflow was the one who started the damned war. Keep going. I'll meet you at Vengeance.